From the Lower Colorado River Authority, this is Wavelength.
Hi everyone, welcome to the November edition of Wavelength. We're here at the Sim Gideon Power Plant in Bastrop, where there are two major projects going on at the same time. First of all, Unit 3 is undergoing a major overhaul, while crews also install a new control system for that unit. It looks like a huge jigsaw puzzle waiting to be assembled. This is the number 3 turbine generator here at Sim Gideon in the middle of a complete overhaul. This kind of major work is scheduled for each unit about every 6 years, and it takes planning and coordination from many different areas of the company. Crews from the Fayette Power Project in LaGrange and the Ferguson plant in Marble Falls are helping out with this overhaul.
The planning for this major outage really begins 6 to 8 months ahead of time. We look at everything that we have to do from our past records and from some of our performance reports. And then we begin to lay the outage out, the things that we're going to be doing during the outage. We lay our vendor work out, we lay all of our in-house labor out, and then we lay out the labor that we're going to be using from both Fayette Power Project and the TC Ferguson Power Project, because they help us a lot do a lot of the work that we do here.
The 3 units here at Sim Gideon are fueled by natural gas and tend to cycle on and off to meet peak demand for electricity. This process will take about 8 weeks to complete, with work going on 12 hours a day, 7 days a week.
It gives us an opportunity to look at all the components of the turbine, generator, boiler, and auxiliary equipment and determine the condition that it's in, and then putting it in the proper condition if we find something wrong, to run another 6 to hopefully 8 years before we have to do this again. Another thing that's unique about this outage is we're incorporating our control system replacement during this time.
Well, he's out in the field right now, and he is going to raise the scale, valve scale, and I'm going to watch it right here to make sure it counts up to where it's supposed to be.
When Unit 3 comes back online in December, it will be monitored and operated from this brand new state-of-the-art control system. Operators will be able to pull up these screens and monitor any area of the system or make adjustments at the touch of a finger.
We're going to gain efficiencies out of the operation of our unit. The operator will have better readouts of what was going on with the unit over the old control board, and they'll have better control parameters to operate under. And we'll also should be able to operate our control rooms with less personnel, which we plan to do over the years through attrition.
This is one of the new automatic valves installed as part of the project. It can be operated from the control room, eliminating the need to send someone into the field to manually operate it.
If he's sitting at the control board, he'll use the touch screen to either open or close a valve. That linkage from the main console goes back through these cabinets. From this cabinet, it goes to the valve to operate the valve.
Soucher says this $10 million project will take 1 year from concept to completion, an amazing time frame which has taken a huge team effort.
We've relied on the Sim Gideon personnel, their knowledge of the plant and their expertise to see this thing through. Project engineering group has played a vital role in getting all the engineering design to come together. Construction management has also played a vital role. They were expediting materials for the job. Again, the short time frame that everyone was faced with made this a very difficult task. And then also construction management carried us through the installation of the project. Right now we're just starting the pre-operational testing of the equipment. So we still have some hurdles to go through. Everyone that's been involved with the project has done an excellent job to date, and we plan on this thing being a great success.
The old Unit 3 control room will be remodeled and used for much needed training and meeting space.
At this year's leadership conference, employees heard 2 very important presentations. One was from internationally renowned speaker Dr. Norma Barr, and the other was from General Manager Mark Rose, who delivered a very candid presentation which outlines some specific information about deregulation and LCRA's changing relationship with its customers.
Our customers, I told you I was going to talk a minute about our customers are a little bit anxious right now. And let me tell you why they're a little bit anxious. And this is real important for us to grasp. See, right now, the board can make the final decision on our rates. We used to be regulated by the PUC. And our customers had a place to go and a place to beat up on us, and they had someone that could control us. But today, that's gone. So our board can come in here next month, start a process, raise our rates 10% if they want to, lower our rates 10%. Our board now sets our rates. We're deregulated. That makes people who've been in a regulated partnership with you for, for about 15 to 20 years a little nervous. So they want to know, well, what's going on? So there's a deal, if you will, that we're trying to cut with our customers. And that is, we'll freeze our rates since we're not adding infrastructure and don't plan to add infrastructure for quite a while. We'll freeze our rates. We're going to look at some level of O&M reductions. We've done that before, just in terms of where we need to be on rates, but it will be over an 8 or 9 year period, which is a long time in today's world. So you'll see some planned reductions, but they're along the lines of what we have already achieved over the last 5 years. We're also going to try to buy power instead of adding infrastructure, as long as there's power out there to buy and that we can buy it competitively.
300 employees attended the conference this year, which was held in Austin and at the Fayette Power Project.
Computers, faxes, email, telephones, they've become an integral part of our daily lives. Storing, retrieving, and sharing information is vital in today's business world. That's why LCRA's Telecommunications Department and Information Services have joined together to form the Corporate Information Services Division. A recent evaluation of LCRA's Information Services is changing the basic way decisions are made in this area.
We've reorganized who's going to get to make the major decisions related to the shared infrastructure at LCRA. By that, it's the networks, telecommunications services, those sorts of things. In the past, that's been made by a separate service-type department at LCRA, either telecom or IS, and now we're saying that's going to be, those decisions are going to be made by a group of representatives from the lines of business. They're going to make the decision as to what services we provide, how much those cost, and how much general administrative or overhead there is in providing those types of services. So it's going to be very much driven by what the lines of business think they need as far as technology resources to do their job and to accomplish their strategies.
The new Information Services Division will be divided into two main areas of operation. One will be technology, whether it's telecommunications, computers, or radios. The other is data and data management, making sure departments and lines of business have the right tools and applications to do their job.
By driving the service function like IS with a group made up of representatives from the lines of business, we see that as a prototype for what we're going to be doing with all the service entities, whether it's human resources or safety or information services. Those lines of business need to tell us what they need and let us be as helpful as we can so that they can achieve the strategies, because that's where the real work is done, working with those external customers to LCRA. And all the service groups, that's our job, is to make those lines as effective as possible.
Help desk is Scott.
One main change end users will see is single point of contact service. Whether you have a phone to be moved or a problem with your personal computer, you can call one number and they will direct the appropriate services to you.
Having the two departments together is going to be a great challenge, and able to work together, and I think we can solve more problems.
Freeman says the ultimate size of the department and the skills needed by the employees will be determined by the needs of the LCRA's lines of business. You can now add 2 new parks to the Colorado River Trail map. White Rock Park in LaGrange and Beeson's Park in Columbus.
Ready? Aim to the left. Fire.
Dedication ceremonies were held recently here in Columbus to officially open this 24-acre park at the site of the old river ford known as Beeson's Crossing. This site will provide the public with access to the Colorado River, a fishing pier, a pavilion, picnic facilities, and a walking trail.
It takes some extraordinary people and an extraordinary organization to properly manage that responsibility. I think we have both of those in the LCRA. And the opening of this fine park today, I think, is a reflection of their concern for the quality of life for all the citizens along the Colorado River. On behalf of the citizens of Columbus, I would like to thank them for their generosity and also for their stewardship of our great river.
Beeson's Park is the result of a partnership formed between Colorado County, Texas Parks and Wildlife Department, and the LCRA.
I think they've done a fantastic job. It just goes to show you what can happen whenever you get the citizens involved in a project like this. It really opened up everybody's eyes in the communities, and it's opened up the county. I think this shows some progress, and I'm pleased that we were able to get involved with the LCRA and come in and work with y'all as far as the designing of this park. I think it's a good route to take, is getting the citizens' involvement.
2, 3.
Just up the river in LaGrange, White Rock Park is now officially opened also. The citizens of LaGrange identified a need for additional recreational and athletic facilities in their community. This 40-acre site used to be a cornfield and now includes 2 new baseball fields, a soccer field, picnic areas, a playground, a fishing pier, and canoe launch site. All of these facilities are wheelchair accessible.
Today has been a day that we've been waiting for a long time to happen. It's been a lot of people who have started with this project from the very beginning, first the raw land, then with the dream of what we could do here, the numerous town meetings that we had, the citizen input from the Little League Association and all of the citizens group that helped make this reality. So it's just a wonderful day for the community of LaGrange.
This facility is also the result of a partnership formed between the City of LaGrange, Parks and Wildlife, and the LCRA.
So as we go forward here today, as we've built these systems of parks along the river, there's a method to our madness, and there is a hidden agenda here. And that is, the more people who recognize the benefit of this river, the more people that come to this park and use this facility and go down to that river, then the stronger voice we have going forward in the future to protect and preserve this river. And as beautiful as this day is, as beautiful as this park is, as grand as this river is today, it's a very fragile resource. It still must have a caretaker, and that's us. So as we go forward today, let us be not only the group of folks that built this park, but also the group of folks who said that we're going to take care of this river from this point forward, and we're going to carry it into the 21st century in a better condition than it is in even today. Thanks.
Well, good afternoon. I'm here in Austin, Texas at the world headquarters of Arrowhead Productions, and it's November and almost Thanksgiving, the start of the traditional holiday season. You know, to me, Thanksgiving's got to be the greatest holiday that there is. I mean, you get to eat all the great food and you really don't have to buy no presents. Now, don't get me wrong, I mean, I love Christmas. I mean, when I was a kid, it seemed like Christmas never come, but now that I'm an adult and have to pay for it, seems like every time I turn around, it's Christmas. But you know, to me, the most intriguing holiday that we have has got to be Columbus Day. I mean, you know, if you think about it, old Christopher Columbus rounded him up 3 ships, the El Nino and the Pinata and the Santa Gertrudis, and he set off on a journey. When he started on that journey, I mean, he didn't know where he was going. Of course, when he got there, he didn't know where he was at. Then when he got back, he didn't know where he had been. Now, I don't want to name any names, but you know, if that's the criteria that they're using, I can think of several folks here at LCRA that ought to qualify for their own national holiday. Well, I guess I better get on back to work before they put me on permanent holiday. So this is the old Supreme Commander saying, Happy Thanksgiving to you. And you know, if you can't be thankful because you ain't got all the things that you want, maybe you should be thankful for some of the things that you ain't got that you really don't want. We'll catch you next time.
When we last visited the city of New Braunfels, we told you about a program that New Braunfels Utilities takes into area schools each fall. It's called Safe Haven, and this is the 12th year NBU has sponsored this very successful outreach program.
I'm Chuck, this is Rocky. We work for a company here in New Braunfels called New Braunfels Utilities. Anybody know what else we call it? Just say it. All right.
Chuck Reininger and Rocky Wilson are back in school. Normally they work as surveyors for New Braunfels Utilities, but today they are Chuck and Rocky, spreading the word about Safe Haven here at Lone Star Elementary School.
We have a special safety program at NBU. We want to tell you about it. It's called Safe Haven. And what this means is this gives y'all some more people in the community that you know are safe to go to in case you ever need help for any reason, like if you're out running around, riding your bike, playing, if you get hurt, if you get sick, or if you get lost, or for any reason you need to go to someone for help. This gives you some more people you know are safe that you can trust. What's the policeman's phone number? 911. That's right. What's the fireman's phone number? 911. And now we want you to know that if you're ever in trouble and you need help for any reason, if you look up and you happen to see one of these white trucks with the blue NBU sign working in your neighborhood or driving down the road, you don't have to be afraid of them. Just holler at those guys and get their attention. Wave your hands and really let them know you need help. Don't just wave like this. They might just wave, think you're waving hello. Let them know you're in trouble and need some help. All the trucks are equipped with radios like this.
Once the kids get the message, then things really start rocking.
'Cause if a kid needs a friend, we'll be friends till the end, and all you really have to do, if you run out of luck, look for the truck with the big blue NBU, NBU.
Oh, the kids think, you know, this program is wonderful. They, Mr. NBU ranks up there as one of their #1 heroes, right up there with Santa Claus. And there's a lot of identification for New Braunfels Utilities, so we think it's very positive. The parents appreciate it, the schools appreciate it. So we've kept it going for about 12 years now, and it's been real positive for us.
Over the next few weeks, Chuck and Rocky will visit all of the kindergarten through 3rd grade classes in the city of New Braunfels. And Chuck says they get a lot of calls from preschools and daycare centers as well. Teachers say this dynamic duo leaves a lasting impression on the kids.
A couple years ago, our superintendent came out and asked who we felt as teachers and staff at this school, who the kids' heroes were. And of course, Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny were right up there, and the principal were at the top of the list, but then the NBU man was listed, and he was absolutely in shock. He said, why on earth is a utility employee being listed as a hero? And I watched all of my peers support Safe Haven in our program. They all explained to our superintendent that NBU cares about us, and if our kids are in trouble, the NBU men will stop and pick them up. And they won't take them anywhere, but they'll get an ambulance or they'll find someone to take care of them. And our kids won't be alone.
If you're in trouble, all you have to do is wave and don't talk to strangers. and you have to wave to the MBU truck.
What's the funniest part of the whole show?
When he danced.
So how do Chuck and Rocky feel about being ranked right up there with Santa and the Easter Bunny?
I think we beat the Easter Bunny, didn't we?
This year
I
we
think
did.
Santa
Yeah, we
Claus
did.
brings presents, so you know he beat us, I think. But we edged the Easter Bunny out on that one. Oh, I love it. I love it. And we come in, like for instance, sometime I'll come into town on the weekends, and go shopping or something. The kids recognize you in the stores. I mean, even if we're not in our NBU uniforms, and it's pretty neat. I've had 15, 16-year-old kids that I did this program to, and they were like in the first and second grade, come up and say, "Hey, aren't you Chuck?" Kind of ages you a little bit, but it's pretty neat because they all know you. It's a pretty good feeling.
New Braunfels Utilities also has other programs on electrical safety and water conservation, which they bring into schools each year.
MBU.
What does that stand for?
Help.
It's a romantic idea. Quit your job, move to Montana, and learn to fly fish among the mountain streams. Well, for those of us who are stuck with living in reality, our best chance for the experience may well be by enrolling in the Colorado River Trail Adventures program.
So we're going to move our elbow, and I don't want you casting up here or out here. That you'll get real tired.
On a recent Monday evening, these students of nature stood attentively on the front lawn of the LCRA to learn to fly fish.
Get out about 30 or 40 feet of line and be sure there's not a tree behind you.
Ray Carrington is a fishing guide and the instructor for this evening's adventure program.
The stops, the two essential things here are stopping the rod hard. Mel Krieger calls it whumping the rod. Joan Wolfe calls it a power snap. But it's a hard stop, and that's what makes the loop. Does everybody?
Each person has come for their own unique reason, but they all have one thing that bonds them together: a deep respect for the river and a desire to spend more time on it.
It just really interests me. I want to spend more time out on the river, make a good opportunity to spend some time with my son. I'd like to teach him how to fly fish. Everything you read about fishing, fly fishing is the one that seems to be the most romantic, the most artistic.
According to Faye, fly fishing is almost all rhythm. Trying too hard to control the rod or the line will surely scare the fish away. But soon the students are relaxed and the sound of fly fishing fills the air.
It's wonderful to see that someone who maybe has fished but never really been exposed to a fly rod put that thing in their hand for the first time and start to get really into the art of fly casting. And once we've given them that tool, then the whole Colorado River is at their beckoning. They can really put that new skill to use to explore the best of Texas. And that's really what this is about. We want them to discover the best of Texas along the Colorado River.
Learning to fly fish is just one of a dozen things to do in the Colorado River Trail Adventures program. As for these future fly fishermen, well, it doesn't appear that the fish have too much to worry about just yet.
The first thing she told me was stay away from the trees, and the third cast I made, I got the trees.
Well, that's it for this edition of Wavelength. We'll look forward to seeing you again next time.